Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a back to back live post game show of the Curfew Boys podcast on YouTube and Twitter, also known as X. If you're joining in from either or platforms, thank you so much. Happy Sunday, December 21st. Please like and subscribe. Share this with your fellow Habs fans, friends near and far. It's absolutely free. Follow the Curfew Boys on social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, like I said, Twitter. That's pretty much it. All of our episodes available audio platforms or audio formats on platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, any podcast platform. I am Sammy. He is my cousin Chris. We might get one of the boys to jump on. Maybe Anxious Anthony, as always, feeling anxious tonight after this loss in overtime to the Pittsburgh Penguins, but we're going to get to that. What's up, Chris? Okay, I see.
Disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. So am I. So am I. We're gonna get right down to it. First, we're gonna take this quick opportunity to thank our sponsors. We'll start with my buddy Mike and RDP with the Mike's Barbecue Rub. Like I said, Canadian company that creates his own barbecue seasoning and spices. It can be used for your meats, your fish, your vegetables, your steaks, your beef, your pork, whatever it is. If it can be thrown on the grill, you need to try Mike's Barbecue Rub. He also uses those spices to season his kettle cooked chips, which are absolutely amazing. He ships anywhere and everywhere in Canada. Follow him on social media. Give him some love on Instagram and TikTok. And you could visit his website, www.mikesbarbecuerub.com, for more information. It might be a tough task tonight, but still, don't forget to rub your meat, folks. Also, Les Délices Lafrenière, some of the best pastries in the Montreal area. Their cakes, cannolis, and zeppelis during the Saint Joseph month of March. They have 6 locations: Rosemere, Brossard, Saint Julie, Montreal West, Point Claire, and our hometown, St. Leonard. Visit lesdeliceslafrenière.com. Follow them on Instagram. They are simply delicious, simplement délicieux. And last but not least, our boy Sunil from the famous Habs Cave on Instagram and TikTok. Give him some love. Best content regarding Montreal Canadiens memorabilia. It is every Habs fan's dream to have a man cave like the Habs Cave. Sunil is a great person, great human being, a big member of the Montreal Canadiens community. So please give him some love on Instagram and TikTok. So, Chris, 24 hours after a Jacob Fowler stellar performance, first career shutout against the Pittsburgh Penguins, we go back to Pittsburgh, back to back home and away series, looking to get another 2 points as we head over to Boston. One more game before the Christmas break. And this one's a bit of a roller coaster of emotions, a bit of a roller coaster of the game. But the Habs do lose in a shootout by a final score of 4-3. They do get that 1 point. Man, I don't know how many opportunities they had to close it out in overtime. That overtime period was all Montreal. The couple of times that Pittsburgh was in our zone, I thought the Canadiens defended very well. Be it Nick Suzuki, be it Cole Caulfield, be it Lane Hudson, be it Oliver Kapanen, Mike Matheson. I don't know who else I'm forgetting in that overtime period, but all of them had an opportunity to score, created chances for themselves. I don't know how many goalposts saved the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. I'm happy with the points. I'm not happy with the overall performance tonight of the boys. Luckily, this is a Pittsburgh Penguins team that is a little bit known to crap the bed in the third period, which kind of did. I mean, Noah Dobson tied it up. Thought it was going to be a goaltender interference call, but it wasn't. Yeah. Wasn't their best game tonight. But we'll get the points. I don't know if we're looking at it as a glass half full or a glass half empty, but I guess we'll take the point.
The way that I see it is the Canadiens battled through. They at least got the point, like you said. I'll start by saying hats off to Mr. Sidney Crosby on officially becoming the all-time leading point scorer for the Pittsburgh Penguins, passing Mario Lemieux. Quite the accomplishment. Obviously, Sid has had an amazing career. He's had his challenges. He's could only imagine where he'd be had he not had some of the injuries. But same can be said for Super Mario.
Hmm.
All
Oh
that
yeah.
to say is it
Oh
was
yeah.
nice to see Crosby get that at home. I was happy that even saw plenty of Habs fans on their feet, applauding the feat. So that was good. But I will say when we came into the episode and you asked why what that disappointed face was, well, man, we just got beaten by the post. We literally just got beaten by the post. We deserve to win that. We absolutely deserve to win that game, at least in overtime. That
Yeah.
is, and frustrating. I really hate the shootout more and more and more. When a guy like and the same can be said for a guy like Texier, who unfortunately didn't score in the shootout tonight. When a guy like Kevin Hayes, who played less than 10 minutes, can come on, jump onto the ice, and put the puck in the net because he's a shootout specialist, I find that rather crappy. I really do.
It was a he did that Nick Suzuki little flick a little bit too. Ah, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think until the players and the teams decide to remove that in the CBA, I don't know if it's CBA issue or if it's just entirely the league that decides it. Um, it is what it is, and this is where your goalies have to be stellar. And I'm sorry, I didn't like the way Jakub Dobeš looked in that third goal. This might sound like I'm putting the loss on him. I don't mean to sound that way, but god damn it, man! Like, can you please stay in your crease or so? I'm not a goalie. It's easy for me to judge here, but like,
It was aggressive. It was very aggressive
I,
as a
I don't
move.
know. Is it just me here? I didn't like the way he looked there. I didn't like overplayed, over aggressive. Stay in your crease. I don't know, man. Okay, fine. Like good, great. You stopped Crosby. Okay, the Kevin Hayes fooled him. Fine, but I don't know. I think he could have. I don't know. From a fan perspective, watching the game, I felt like he could have stopped that. I felt that over aggressiveness on I think it was Raquel on the third shooter. I felt that was a bit unnecessary. I don't know. Like I'm frustrated too because don't want to see them beating our goalie that way. Because you really outplace yourself because you decide to get too aggressive. And I've said this before about Jakub Dobeš. It's like, man, you read his body language early in the game. If he's sliding and sliding like a baby seal from side to side, I don't feel confident, man. And tonight was one of those games. I didn't feel confident in Jakub Dobeš. I don't get why he can't be consistent that way. Like the game against Chicago, he was great. The game against Edmonton, he was perfect. His best game of the season. I don't know. Does he
Yeah.
get him too? Does he get emotional? Does he get in his head? I don't know. And again, it sounds like I'm blaming him. I'm not totally blaming him, but he's got a job to do as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah, the look, I too was not a huge fan of the third shootout goal that they successfully scored. Pittsburgh, that is. I too thought it was extremely like over the top as to how much he came out. And I mean, if you're gonna come out that much, like swing the stick, try to like surprise the guy, but he just came out. And if a guy's coming in with speed, all they have to do is break one way, like or
Mhm.
cut one way, not break, but cut one way, and my god, you're in on easy street. The mattress was not comfortable. No, it was not, Roberto. The
Thank you,
mattress
Rob.
is starting to, bring about some nightmares, that is, for both, Sam Montembeault as well as Jakub Dobeš. the future is here. Jacob Fowler, and I don't mean to put this pressure on the kids, and I don't want to focus. I don't want this to be a complete goalie episode, but just to say, I think both Montembeault and Dobish can easily look over to Fowler and just say, "This kid is an absolute natural talent." And I think we know where this is going, which means I have to battle against my friend who I've shared the net with to see who's staying and who's eventually going to become his backup. But I digress. I do want to turn the attention to a guy who bears a lot of weight on his shoulders, Nick Suzuki. Am I
Mm-hmm.
crazy, Sam? Am I crazy? This guy was so freaking dominant in on whether it be a penalty shot or shootouts. He was scoring all these crazy goals. I think back to playing against Arizona and
Yeah.
him pulling just an
Well,
absolutely dirty dangle, like even
when he
better than that of
yeah,
Kevin Hayes. And now this
yeah.
guy can't buy a goal in the shootout. Like what's going on?
Well, right now it's Cole. Cole Caulfield's the guy he's scoring every shootout. I don't know when, I can't really remember when's the last time he missed one. He probably did recently, but Cole Caulfield seems to love scoring on those 5 holes in the shootout. But I do get it. Like at one point he was near perfect, close to perfect. I think he had over 50%, but I don't know. I'm at the same time too. I'm not too worried about Nick Suzuki in the shootout because no matter what, he's still dangerous. You still don't know what moves he can pull. Uh, Cole, it looks like he's gonna go 5-0, but his shot is so snappy that like you don't know. You know he's gonna shoot there, but you don't know when. And when you decide to react after the shot, it might be too late. So no, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about Cole. Texier, you knew that he wasn't going to try to do the one hand poke, but then he tried to do the one hand, not backhand, but like the one hand slide back to him, kind of like he did it in one of the practices. There's a video of him where he did that. That's the move he was trying to make, and I get it. I get why Marty put him. He does have the hands for the shootouts. Again, you could argue kind of I'd have to check the score sheet. Hold on a sec. Um, Texie played 16 minutes and 48 seconds. Hayes played 9 minutes and 26 seconds. So okay, so I get what you're saying, but I would like to see Demidov out there in the shootout too.
Thank you.
I think I would like to see the kid get a chance in the shootout, but again, Marty's got a lot of options. Okay, he really
Yep.
does. Like he like Texier, you got to give him that chance too because last time they were in the shootout, I guess it was against Toronto. Like he's got the hands for it. That you can't not put in Caulfield and Suzuki in there. But one of these days, I would like to see Ivan Demidov get an opportunity. Hi-fi sound guy. No way he should have gotten the start. Fowler's 21. He can play back to back once. Okay. I hear what you're saying. I really think, though, tonight was the right call in putting Jakub Dobeš, especially after 2 games. He played well. Let's call a spade, Chris's famous phrase.
It's not my
He
saying. That's
played,
just a general saying. You know that.
I, well, it's your saying on this show. So
Okay.
he played great against Chicago and he was fantastic against Edmonton. So you have to give him that chance. Now that Montembeault is not joining the team, which was originally the plan was for Montembeault to join this team in Pittsburgh and in Boston. Plans change. Anything in hockey can change, right? Montembeault is going back to Montreal. He's going to be training in Brossard tomorrow and on Tuesday before the Christmas break. The stars are aligned for Jacob Fowler to get the start in Boston and who had a stellar junior career with Boston College. It's only fitting. It's only fitting. So, as much as some of us, even Zook, look, let's be honest here. Zook said it in our group chat. He would have loved to see Fowler do back to back. Same thing. He's young, he's hungry. You know, why not? And I'm giving you guys my personal opinion. I'm not a fan of seeing goalies play back to back unless there's absolutely no choice. And most importantly, I really want to see Fowler play against Boston, and it looks like it's heading that way.
I'm of the same school of thought, especially the way that Dobesh had been playing in prior games. There was absolutely no reason not to have that confidence. And again, I don't think he played a bad game, and I'm not going to pin this onto
Mm-hmm.
him. I mean, two of the goals, the first two goals, those are good plays.
Yeah,
Crosby's goal and assist, those are good plays. I don't think that Dobesh really looked out of sorts. And talking about shootouts, that's a 50-50. You either score or you don't. And,
yeah. or
that's a
you
very high likelihood.
or you either save it or you don't. But yeah, I
Well,
get it.
save it or you don't. You can, if you really want to get technical, you could also say you missed the net altogether and it's not even a save. But I mean, let's not get mathematical and take the love of the sport out of the game in that sense. Dobesh had every right to play tonight, and I like the fact that Fowler's going to be ready to go against Boston. Again, they should have won this game. Lack of follow through, lack of execution. Uh, Post having a fantastic overtime
And
period. Uh,
ugh,
Again, I don't think this one hurts because they could have easily won it and they had the
yeah,
opportunities.
yeah.
And I want to go to one comment. First line is absent now without Slav. I don't think they're necessarily absent, but I will say on another note, Slav continues to be dominant. The play again in overtime knocks Raquel off the puck, and unless I'm mistaken, Raquel is a pretty big boy, knocks him off the puck, basically tosses him almost to the ice, takes the puck, goes up, shot right off the crossbar. Like
Oh my
Slav
god, yeah.
is starting to become an absolute force in this league. And yeah, I do think that the first line, like Zach Bolduc, is not doing what Slav is doing, but mark my words, Slav, and again, look at the two goals that that second line scored. What a pass to Demidov, and what a move again, or not what a move, but what a play to Kapanen. Like that is a line that has great chemistry. I don't think Budzik is that bad that he shouldn't be on the first line. Like I really think that would be a ridiculous thing to say. But yeah, the dynamic you get used to something. Slav being playing with Suzuki and Caulfield for so long, they might be feeling it a little bit more because they don't have the same board battle. Um, I'd say board battle champion, if you will, on their line.
Just look at the way Slav drives the plays when he's on the ice with Demidov and Kapanen. It's the first time since he started his career with the Canadiens that he's been doing that. And look how dominant he is. Look how physically mature he's becoming. And he's still I don't think he's fully grown into his body just yet, but he's almost there. Don't
Yeah,
forget,
in
he's
there.
only
Yeah.
21, 22. But that tic-tac-toe play, it's not just it's not just what he can do with his body protecting the puck and the poke checking and winning battles in the corner and protecting the puck. It's his hockey awareness.
Yep.
Look at his hockey awareness all of a sudden. That tic-tac-toe play, where's Zook when you need him? Excuse my language, that was just tastic. I'm saying this live. That was unbelievable. That
Yep.
was unbelievable. That was a
It was
beautiful
so
play.
quick. Well, so quick that the cameraman even had difficulty keeping up with it.
But
No joke. I'm not talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
no, no.
the the far out shot, but usually there's another camera that's following up close. The puck was the puck was pretty much in the net before the camera got to Kapanen. That's
Mhm.
how quick it was executed. Like fantastic vision out there by Slav, and it's only just starting, really.
But I also think him having early experience playing with Cole and Suzuki, figuring those guys out where they're going to be and how to use your awareness to find. I think that's helped him a lot. I really really do. And I'm going to throw a question out there, and it's something that we threw out there on Twitter. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here, and it's still way too early to tell. But could Oliver Kapanen be that second line center that we need? Is it possible? He's got 11 goals already. He's got 11 goals. I don't know, man. Like I know we talk about Michael Hage a lot, and I love what I see from the kid and the potential that he has. Man, like Oliver Kapanen, just the way he's playing, I didn't expect this from him, and I don't know. I can't shake this feeling that maybe if everybody's there saying we need a second line center, we need a second line center, maybe the answer is internally. And maybe it's not just Michael Hage who has got potential of being that. Maybe it's right there in front of our faces with this kid.
This is how it's gonna play out. Get the crystal ball out and or get the notepad out and say, Chris Chris told you this is how it's gonna play out. I think he's gonna be perfectly fine in the second line center slot. He keeps getting better every single game. Like, and again, it's the hockey IQ. He is brilliant. Like, he is just
Yeah,
that
dude.
good that I think he can stay. And when the execution is going to start to pour through more and more and more, he's going to be there. So now here comes the crystal ball uh, period. I think you got Suzuki, Locke as your first line center. I think Kapanen is going to remain that second line center, as especially as long as that second line, as Hi-Fi Sound guy is alluding to. I'm not so sure that's an actual second line, but all that to say, it'll allow for Michael Hage to therefore come into the lineup, not have the pressure on him, maybe start on the third line, and then, you have 2 guys that are interchangeable. Now, at that point in time, we have 3 right-handed centermen. I I don't know how this is gonna sound to certain people, but maybe here's where the whole Phil Danault thing comes into play. You would have a responsible 200-foot player in Suzuki, a responsible 200 player in Kapanen, a responsible 200 player, a very responsible 200 player in Danault, who could eventually become a fourth line center. Maybe Jake Evans is a piece that we can afford to move in the eventuality, people, in the eventuality. But all that is, when I say crystal ball, I definitely think that Kapanen is just going to be the guy to buy time and take the pressure off Michael Hage's shoulders so that he can eventually work his way up. I think he has a higher ceiling than Kapanen, but then by the time that Kapanen slotted down to that third line, he's going to be arguably like Jordan Stahl was, an
Mm.
amazing third line center for the Pittsburgh Penguins when they're pushing for the cup. So that's the way that I foresee it. You can change. It doesn't have to be Dano. It doesn't have to be Jake Evans. But I do very much think that that's the way it can very well play out at the end of the day.
Well, I'm thinking of the roster this season, and yeah, there's no way that you could split that lineup when Philip Danault gets here on Tuesday. There's just absolutely no way. Joe Veleno was centering the third line tonight, and then Owen Beck was centering the fourth because of Jake Evans being on the IR. But now with Danault coming in, there's no way that Marty's gonna split up that line. I can't see it happening. I really, really, really don't. There's a lot of people. We got a lot of comments on some of our YouTube shorts saying that he's gonna put Philip Danault on the second line and he's gonna ruin everything. Guys, stop. Oh, not guys. Excuse me. To that one person, and if they're watching, you know who you are. Stop it. Stop. Chances are they're not watching because they're not fans. But anyways, all that to say is it's not gonna happen. And if Philip Danault is getting ice time, is because he's being matched up against probably their top guys, and that gives Nick Suzuki a break. And giving Nick Suzuki a break allows him to concentrate a little bit more on the offensive side, which is never, ever a bad thing. A couple of times Suzuki tonight was matched up against Crosby. thought he did okay. You know what I mean? It was an up and down game for Suzuki and that line. It just needs Bolduc just needs him too. Right now, the concern about his game is consistency. And
Can
he still needs time to develop full chemistry with Cole and Suzuki. Go, Chris.
So let's look at this. Suzuki tonight, 23 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah.
If Suzuki ends up dropping down and playing 19 minutes, is that the end of the
Mm,
world?
no, but
It's
I
not the
still don't think that's gonna happen though.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm looking at some of our other forwards like Owen Beck, and this is where it absolutely like I'm willing to live to die on this hill. Like Owen Beck playing 10 minutes and 7 seconds, Veleno playing 13 minutes and 22 seconds, Kapanen playing 14 minutes and 44 seconds. I really have no problem with Kapanen. I think he should be getting more time, but I'm just saying because of Marty's lack of comfort to put guys like Owen Beck or Joe Veleno, and people are going to be like ripping their ripping their volume knobs off the off their car stereo or off the buttons on the side of their phone. Yeah, Joe Veleno still plays too much, but are we ready to have the argument? Are you more comfortable? Are you not more comfortable having Philip Danault on the ice versus Owen Beck for now or Joe Veleno? I think the answer should be a resounding yes. And
Yeah.
if that's the case, then he should naturally get more minutes than a 10 minutes and 7 seconds or 13:22. And if he ends up getting maybe 15, 16, 17 minutes in comparison to,
Hmm.
let's say, a Joe Veleno, who, by the way, took a nasty hit to the head, didn't
Yeah,
return to the game, might have
I'm
had to
searching.
undergo concussion protocol. Like all this to say, to stick with the point, is just when Phil Danault is going to come into the lineup, there are naturally going to be some minutes that come away from Suzuki. But at the end of the day, I think that is going to be much better for him. Look at Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield still managed, obviously, a ton of time in overtime, but 20 minutes for Cole Caulfield for a guy who doesn't play
Mhm.
on the PK, doesn't necessarily play when it's a tighter game, you know, not might not be bad to kind of 20 minutes versus 23 minutes. If Dano gets that 3.5 minutes extra from another forward, I have no problem with that.
Well, look, Philip Danault stabilizes a lot at the center position, especially now. Especially now. Now that Jake Evans is on the IR, and I'm trying to find on Twitter if there's any news regarding Joe Veleno. Like you said, it might have been just concussion protocol, and they're like, well, look, we're going into OT. You're obviously not going to play overtime, so just stay in the room and let's take care of you, type of deal. But I agree. I agree, and I can't think of a perfect time for Philippe Danault to make his next Montreal Canadiens debut against the rivals, the Bruins. But we're gonna need them to really be prepared against the Bruins because I think they got their asses whipped by the Senators tonight. Then by a final score of like 6-4. If
I
I'm
will
trying to get the
confirm that.
scoreboard, I'm trying to get the scoreboard here. Yeah, so they better be ready. They better be ready to play because the Bruins are not happy with the way they lost tonight, and division rival. Yeah, no, it's going to be another challenge, but I really, 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 once again, like I freaking love that second line of Slav, Demidov, and Kapanen. Absolutely, I thought they had a great game. I really did. That Slav pass, I know you mentioned it, but that's cross ice Slav pass to Demidov, like
Even the one to
unreal,
Kapanen, though, even the
unreal.
one to
Yeah, yeah,
Kapanen
that
was
one,
just
that tic tac
absolutely
toe play too.
fantastic. But I do look. It goes without saying. I want to maybe do a lap around the defensive
Hmm.
squad on the team. Um, why is my internet timing out for simple checking of the scores? But all this to say is, I think Arbor Jacki is playing some of the best hockey
Yeah.
that
Oh
he's
yeah.
been
I think
playing.
so.
Well,
I think so too.
in more recent games, I really think that he's solidifying himself, um, on the like, to have his 6th, the 6th defenseman spot on the team. Lane
Hmm.
Hudson, every single game is magic, and we will
Was
continue to repeat that
it
he's
was
magic
unreal.
because we have waited for so long to have a player that just, is spectacular in every sense of the term, and he's so exciting. Yeah, does he move his head a little bit? So what? Does he make too many fake passes from behind the net?
I'm
Yeah, so what?
I'm
But
so
Lane
scared.
Hudson,
Uh,
it,
yeah, go ahead.
look at well, what really took me back, and again, frustrating that we didn't win it in overtime. Like, did you see how the Montreal Canadiens were cycling the puck between Suzuki, Caulfield, and Hudson? That is a
Yeah.
masterclass, folks. That is like spectacular. You make veteran players look like pylons on the ice, and they're just shifting around. They're doing all sorts of things. He does that, folks. He's doing whatever the hell he wants to out there, and it has to be said every single game. It's a privilege to watch this man play hockey. This kid, he's
This
becoming
man.
a man very quickly, but this
Yeah.
kid playing hockey is something that we haven't had. We haven't had a talent anywhere remotely close to this. It's just something else.
Well, the
The other thing
excitement
too,
since
Dobson, nice. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, I've been rambling. Your turn.
No, no,
You go
well, no,
first,
no,
please,
no,
Sammy.
no, well, no. I like the excitement, like you said. It's ever since PK Subban, basically. Um,
Yep.
you wanted to mention Noah Dobson.
I
Man, that
wanted you to mention Noah Dobson is what
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted.
yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're feeding me a Slavkovsky pass. Nice.
So there you
No,
go.
thank God that goal counted. I got worried there for a second, but hey, Sammy Blais getting called up. Patience with the puck in the slot. Managed to accidentally find Dobson, and good on Noah Dobson for sticking with it and not giving up on the play. Sometimes, man, you got to have puck luck, and the puck just managed to find its way back to his stick blade. He got to roof it backhand. I'm man, Noah Dobson too. More and more, I think more and more now he's getting more comfortable as the season goes, and he's getting better as the games go. And man, thank God we acquired this guy too, because part of me wonders. I don't know where we'd be if we didn't have a Noah Dobson on this team. I really, really do.
Yeah. He he's gonna be he's a silent killer. Like, he's not as
Yeah,
spectacular as Lane
yeah,
Hudson, but he has completely shifted the defensive, like, the defensive squad, if you will, again, for the Montreal Canadiens. He can throw him out pretty much any time, and he's putting up a lot of points.
yeah.
Obviously, Lane Hudson is pretty much getting at a point per game pace the more and more that we go ahead, but honestly, we have a minimum 50 to 60 point defenseman in Noah Dobson, which is fantastic. So you think about having maybe an 80-point defenseman and a 60-point defenseman.
Well,
Forget
he's
forget the
at 20
Colorado
points.
Avalanche. Well, forget the Colorado Avalanche, but other than that team, how many teams have defensemen with that many points?
Oh,
It's very rare.
I mean, you have your Kale McCarrs, your Quinn Hughes. That's the only two I can think of right now at the moment. Maybe it's because it's
It's
late
just
at night,
pretty
but
well, that's it.
well,
Sam, you hit
I
it dead
think
on the
I think Noah Dobson's going to hit 50 points, and you already have Lane Hudson at unless I forgot. I don't know if he picked up a point tonight, but he's already past 30. We literally might have two defensemen that are above 50 points, and maybe the last time the Canadiens had that maybe was when Markov and PK played together. I'd have to double check that through the history books of the Canadiens, but no, he brings a whole other stable element to this game, and believe it or not, he's actually able to make Mike Matheson do kind of whatever he wants because he knows he's got a reliable partner right next to him. So, um, no, for sure. I actually liked how you mentioned Arbor Jack guy. His game is picking up. You want to know why? Because Very, very simple game. And he's also becoming, not that he's becoming, but he's at the point now in his career. The only way you notice him is if he's fighting or if he made a mistake. And lately, you haven't been noticing him, and that's a good thing. And it's a good thing.
I will fight you on that because he's been truly laying the body as well. Like
Oh
even
yeah,
even
for
even
he's
if you
doing
think
that
back to the
too.
last, like he's knocking guys on their asses and he's being responsible about it. Like I
Hmm.
truly am happy with his game. And one of the biggest differences, Arbor, as I always say, love the guy, love the player, want him on the team. He's not the guy to make the stretch pass. And funny enough, he's now carrying the puck, making sure
Hmm.
to get to the center line, either dumping it or holding the puck just a little bit longer. Have you noticed he's starting to get a few shots off that are actually
Not
dangerous
just,
shots with guys in
not
front
just
of
a,
the net? Like,
yeah, not just a few shots off, but a couple of times, like I think he felt like he had an opportunity to go to the net and honestly created a
drew a
chance or two.
penalty. He drew a penalty tonight doing something similar by actually charging up
Hmm.
and chasing his own
Oh
respective
yeah, yeah,
puck.
in the first period, that's true. Yeah, yeah. No, no. Listen, good counterpoint too. But I just think on the overall, like, but those types of plays for an Arbor Jackeye type of defenseman are like the cherry on top. And good things, it's kind of like one of those things. Good things come to those who wait, type of deal in a hockey sense for a defenseman like him. And for the most part, yeah, he's hitting guys in the corners and all that. That he laid a big hit. He did one tonight, and he even did one last night with like 10 seconds left in the game. But on the overall, you're just not noticing him much because it's the simple plays he's doing. It's not the stretch passes. It's just the first pass out of the zone, and then that's it. That, hey, I did my part type of deal, and that's okay for defensemen like him. So yeah, it's really, really encouraging now, and I I'll be shocked if he's a healthy scratch against Boston. And I know Jaden Struble, him too. He's got a bit of the northeast. I think was it northeastern, the northeastern Huskies. Him and Jordan Harris back in the day, in their college days. So they have a bit of that Boston history there. And as much as you want to see that for the kid, I don't think Arbor Jackeye is deserving of being a healthy scratch come Tuesday night, and especially against Boston. Actually, you know what I mean?
Adam Engstrom is coming out of the lineup. That's my prediction. Engstrom
Oh,
is
is
gonna
that your
come out of the
call? Oh,
lineup,
okay,
and yeah, I
okay.
think both Struble and Xhaka are gonna be in there. I think Blais is gonna be playing. Look, I was
Yeah, no,
very curious
no
when you
choice.
said Boston got a beat down. I just
Yep,
wanna
6-2.
revise.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6-2, but listen to this. This is the penalty summary. So, second period, Curtis McDermott, 5 minutes for fighting against Tanner Janot, or
Hmm.
Jeannot.
Yeah.
Then you have very interesting in the third period, Curtis McDermott, 5 minutes fighting against Mark Kastelik. So these guys were both of them former Senators. You
Mm.
had, I think, Zadorov, 10-minute misconduct. Dylan Cousins, 10-minute misconduct.
Oh wow.
Pasternak, 10-minute misconduct. Riley Grieg,
Riley Gregg. Yeah.
10-minute misconduct. Jeez. And Nick Jensen, 10-minute misconduct. So I want to see what the heck went on in that game, but it seems like a very rough one. And I do, in a certain sense, expect it to be similar
Mm.
potentially. You saw
Hmm.
what they tried to do at the Bell Center. Like I said, I think Arbor and Jeannot might go at it again. I
Yeah.
think he wants another go at
Revenge.
it because I don't think he looked his best. He didn't get the right. All I'm saying is it's Boston. Nothing against blue collared people. I love blue. Like I'm the first one to.
I'm a
Anyways,
blue collar
I
worker, I
try.
guess.
Well, I was just about to say I don't want to go into the works, but just it's a saying, folks. No judgment, but those blue collared savages in Boston. Um,
It is a blue collar
They
city.
are bloodthirsty. They I don't know what else to tell you. They love fighting. That's that's in their nature. And I
Cue,
think
cue the
Montreal
Dropkick
going to Boston.
Murphys. Cue the
Oh,
Dropkick
shipping up to
Murphys.
Boston.
I fucking love that band. I'm so happy I got to see them live. Like, my God, this was years ago. This was like back in like 2010, 2011. I think when they came, they were so amazing. I remember going to see Dropkick Murphys, and somebody in the crowd had a Montreal Canadiens jersey, and the bassist, he went to the mic. He's like, "Montreal, I love you, but put that fucking jersey away right now." And then at the end of the show, their last two songs, what they did was they're like, all the girls come on stage, and all like a lot of girls went on stage. They were dancing, rocking with the band. And then after that, they ended with like, okay, now all the guys, like they took guys like in front rows and stuff, like, all right, all the guys come on stage. And then the guy with the Montreal Canadiens jersey went up to him and started flashing in his face. And so the bassist was playing like tug of war with this guy for the jersey, and he ended up taking the jersey, put it on the floor, and he started stomping on it. And it's a funny story now that I think about it. At the time, I was like, "Oh, you mother effer! Like, how dare you?" But I have a twisted sense of humor. I thought it was funny. Like, if I was in a Montreal band and somebody did that in Boston, I probably would have done the same thing. And you look back and you laugh. But yeah, I'm expecting exactly. This goes back to me saying the boys need to be ready, because thank God for you, Chris, saying the details of this game with all the penalties, and like it sounded like it got ugly. I didn't see any highlights of this game. Uh, and the fact that it happened on their home ice, yeah, you better believe Boston's going to come back. They're going to want blood, for lack of a less violent term, I guess. Um, for sure.
Yeah.
I
I
really
think
want to talk. Yeah, sorry. Go.
Oh, no, 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 go for it, go for it. I had nothing to contribute there.
Well, you were thinking of something.
Well, I was wondering if we were getting close to wrapping over here.
Yeah, I actually want to just take a couple minutes. I like talk about Sidney Crosby here, and like it's crazy to
Okay.
think Sid the Kid. It's crazy to think that I'm looking back at that draft, that
Carey Price draft,
it was a
Scott
lottery
draft,
draft, and it's crazy to
Benoit
think
Pouliot.
pick number 4. Yeah, Carey Price draft, and I wouldn't have it any other way except maybe, man. I remember thinking like, oh my god, at that time it was the 30. I'm pretty sure it was 30 teams in 2005, even if it wasn't.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that to say is the pick number 6, and geez, sorry, I forgot the order, but I'm there thinking like, oh my god, Montreal is still in this. There's a chance that they could draft Sidney Crosby, and then boom, number 5, the Montreal Canadiens. But honestly, like, yeah, we're talking about Sid the Kid being the greatest Pittsburgh Penguin of all time, surpassing Mario with 1,724 points. Mario Lemieux had 1,723, but in much lesser games, in only 915 games, which is unbelievable. But Sidney Crosby also, in doing so, he jumps to the 8th overall spot in most points in NHL history. Steve Yzerman has 1755. So Crosby is literally 31 points away from tying Steve Yzerman, which is actually
He'll
a
pass him
possibility.
this season.
Which is which is a possibility. If Sidney Crosby goes 7th overall in NHL points, and then I could see him surpassing Marcel Dion with 1771, and then maybe even Ron Francis with 1798 next season. He's got 1 year left. I could see him jumping to the 6th overall, or sorry, the 5th overall. Because then you have Gordie Howe at 1850, Mark Messier 1887, Jaromir Jagr at 1921, and then obviously Wayne Gretzky at 2857. I don't know if Crosby is ever going to surpass Gordie Howe unless like he stays. Let's call it for what it is. Sidney Crosby takes care of himself. He takes care of his body. He takes care of his mind. and you know, you know the kid can play. We call him the kid. Sid the kid could still play till the age of 40, but an unbelievable career. I think it's been, as a hockey fan, I think it's been a privilege watching him, and even watching him and Ovechkin go at it during playoffs. It's been a privilege watching Ovechkin be the greatest scorer of all time, of our generation, not just of our generation, but of all time. But Sidney Crosby is, no joke, the best player of our generation, definitely my generation. And man, it's like I don't know. Like Connor McDavid, maybe one day will beat him in points, maybe. But I just think on the overall, Sidney Crosby, like his resume: 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Olympic gold medals, a World Junior gold medal, World Cup of Hockey, 4 nations. It's just how many Hart trophies. And hold on a sec.
They're
Let me
they're gonna have
let
to they're gonna have to start inventing trophies for him not to have won them,
Oh, dude,
essentially.
I get the feeling one day there might be a Crosby Trophy named after him. Hold on a sec here. Yeah, he's got the like President's Cup in the QMJHL, Olympic medals, IHF. He's won gold medal of the World Championships. Um, hold on a second. I'm trying to see if he's got what are the multiple individual awards that he has, but obviously
Oh,
he's won
Hart,
the Hart. He's won the Art
Conn
Ross. He's
Smythe.
won.
Did he win the Conn Smythe?
I think he did win the Conn Smythe once. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he did. My God, I have to. Sorry, I'm like trying to find on the website over here. It doesn't seem to be giving me
I'm checking here.
exactly what I'm wanting, I'm looking at like the team awards that he won, include, like I said, those Stanley Cups. But anyways, all that to say is,
Sorry, two-time Conn Smythe winner. Just to say 2016 and 2017.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
there you go.
sorry for even doubting that you won one in the first place, but
Sid will play till he hits 2000. Yeah, maybe.
I don't think that's a ridiculous statement. Like Kev, that's your that's a legitimate guess, and that's a legitimate, assumption that he will. Like you said, Sam, he's in such great shape. He's just such a fierce competitor. He's not slowing down. Like we're all excited with Caulfield having 17 goals. He just hit 20 tonight. Sidney Crosby just hit 20 goals. He's on pace for
Mhm.
more than 40 goals. You can say the same
At
thing
the age
about John
at the age
Tavares,
of
who got
38.
40. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can say the same thing. John Tavares getting a whole bunch of goals last year, but like Sidney Crosby is undoubtedly, this might be hard for certain people to hear, but if you can put all of these guys on the ice at the same time, same era, I think you're looking at the best all around player in the history of the game. That is Sidney Crosby. I don't think there's any doubt. I like again Wayne Gretzky when the score used to be like 8-6 routinely, and the goaltender's save percentage was like high 700s. It's not the same thing. Wayne Gretzky was ahead of his time. He was a pioneer of the game, but like Sidney Crosby just was masterful about everything. He was spectacular in terms of skill. He was strong. Like even yeah, I forget who it was that hit him, but we like one of our bigger guys. I don't know if it was Anderson who went to go hit him, and like Crosby did not move. He was planted like a
Mhm.
tree. I know they say that his
Solid.
legs are
Yeah.
like tree trunks, but
Yeah.
he's strong physically. He's a fantastic goal scorer. He's a fantastic passer. He's super responsible defensively. He's a perennial winner. The guy is just like locked in. He's one of the best captains to ever play in the game. He's one of
Mhm.
the greatest human beings in the sport. He is the greatest ambassador you can ask for in hockey. Ask yourself, when was the last time anybody heard of Sidney Crosby doing some degenerate shit off ice? It does not
Never.
happen.
Never.
He embodies the best of the sport, and like I will say at the beginning of his career, like all of us said, "Oh, crybaby Crosby," and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all of that. But man, did he ever grow into just? I would argue, outside of the Montreal Canadiens, I think he's my favorite player all time.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely up there. as a hockey fan, yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. You know, you're definitely throwing in the Alex Ovechkins, uh, the Nathan McKinnons, the even now the Connor McDavids, the
Connor
Leon
McDavid.
Dreisaitl's. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was fitting for him to do it on home ice, and you knew it was going to happen. It didn't happen last night at the Bell Center. You knew it was going to happen tonight.
And
It was fitting.
against
It was
and
written. It was
against
written
the
in the
Montreal Canadiens, of course.
yeah.
How fitting is that? So when he
Uh,
comes to eventually play
oh,
with
a
us,
thousand.
you
Yep,
know,
1,000%. Oh well, Jesus, my God, though, like, is that rumor still going on? I know we still want him and stuff, but my God, can you imagine though if it happens? I don't know. Getting
Dano
way,
just
way, way
pumped
too.
the brakes. Dano coming here just pumped the brakes on Crosby coming, but
Well,
Mark
I mean, anything is still possible because Dano's got 1 year left on his contract, and so does Crosby. So at the end of that contract, if it's Dano Chalbai, hello, Sidney Crosby, I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. Not one bit. Even if
uh,
Crosby is 40.
my God,
So
could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I'm well,
Suzuki,
I'm
Kapanen,
trying.
Crosby, and Dano. There you go. There you go. There you go. We're set.
Oh my God. Okay. We're gonna go to one of the questions here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Is Slav going to the Olympics? I freaking hope so. I freaking hope so because I don't know who else Slovakia has. So I freaking hope so. What
Yeah. I
I'm
wouldn't
willing
even
to.
be surprised that he's wearing an A. I really wouldn't be surprised that he's wearing
Oh,
an A
that
on
would be
that team.
cool. That would be cool. Uh, yeah, I like what he wrote. Bobby Orr, the injuries. Bobby Orr, Mike Bossy, yeah, Lindros too. What if? Yeah, that is true, and especially Mario. Mario, what if he never had the back issues and then the cancer? Yeah, of course, Bobby Orr. If he never gets those knee injuries, Mike Bossy too. The my God, those two legends for sure. Yeah, Lindros. Well, Lindros, unfortunately, is those concussions, man. Ah, it is what it is, and that's just the nature of the beast. But that's pretty much all I got, folks. Chris, I don't know. Yeah, Sid's dad was drafted by the Canadiens. That is true, Kev. Absolutely true. Chris, you got anything else to add?
I say we call it. It was a good omen. I just looked up 52:52 in terms of recording time. Nice little omen. And on that note, let's just get ready for Boston.
Yeah,
That's a big game. That's
getting
boys,
ready for
Christmas come
Boston.
early. Let's have at it. Let's ask Ken Dryden. You know, Ken Dryden's favorite game, Montreal
Hmm.
Boston and Boston. Fuck, let's go get this one for Ken.
Well,
Let's do it.
he's gonna have a front row seat up there for sure. Well, if that's the case, I mean, we're definitely going to be back for another post game show Tuesday night before the Christmas break. Thank you all once again for tuning in to this post game show live on YouTube and Twitter, also known as X. Thank you, Kev. Really appreciate that, bud. Hopefully we see you Tuesday night. And all of you that tuned in, thank you so much. Please click like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. And share this with your fellow Montreal Canadiens fans near and far. All episodes available on audio platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Follow the Curfew Boys on social media such as Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, also known as X. A big thank you to our sponsors. Once again, Les Délices Lafrenière, Mike's Barbecue Rub, and Habs Cave. Chris? Get out, bud. We'll be seeing you all Tuesday night. The Montreal Canadiens face our rivals, our hated Boston Bruins. Have a good night, Chris. Have a good night, everybody. Hope to see you all on Tuesday. Until then, bye now.
Bye now.
Good night.